Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and each week I'm joined by a panel of guests to discuss all things fandom and pop culture, primarily from a female perspective. You'll find everything from fanfic, to cosplay, to Schitt's Creek, to Supernatural, and everything in between. So put on your favorite piece of fandom merch, set aside that fanfic that you're writing about your OTP, and sit back and enjoy this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and on Friday's episode, we are going to have our trashiest episode we have ever done on this show. Although I said last week that maybe it won't be trashy, it'll be just us talking about the exploitation of all these people. But
it can be both.
We are going to be talking about the VH1 of love shows. So, Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, Daisy of Love, Chance of Love. There were so many of these and all the other things that, went on. So it should be a fun episode. But like I said, it could be just us talking about, the exploitation that went on with these shows. But joining me for this week's Pop Culture and Fandom News episode and that episode on Friday are first up, returning. She hasn't been on since we talked about Tegan and Sarah back during Pride Month, but Ashley from Talking Like a Teen. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being back. I'm happy to have you back on. And then also joining me from OK Real Quick, Carla. Hello, Carla.
Hello. I am so excited to be second.
I know you're in the middle. You're in the middle of this.
I'm the sandwich today. I'm the sandwich meat. Yum, yum.
Whoa.
Maybe I'm delicious. Maybe Flav will fall in love with me.
You should. What should happen? This is what should happen: is we should somehow find an episode where both Ashley and Ashley's co-host Adrian can be on, and you, Carla, and then you'll be last.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Jenn. Just like finally.
By the time it gets to me, I'm gonna be like, "What? Question?"
Well, last on this episode, but certainly not least, is my podcast brain twin, Jenn from my streaming bubble. Hello, Jenn.
Hello. I am the bottom slice of this podcast sandwich today. So
The bottom, huh?
Nothing like a nice awkward pause to get the episode going. And hello.
Thank you all for joining me so much this week. So much. You're joining me so much this week. Thank you so much for joining me this week. And I can already tell we're going to have a lot of fun on both of these episodes. So I have a great panel here. So let's get on with it, with the pop culture side of it. So, Ashley, what is one thing in pop culture fandom that you're into, looking forward to, upset about?
So this is very much a hashtag sorry, not sorry for doing a bit of a retread. The only thing that I've been watching, aside from prepping for Friday's episode, is The Bear. So we're going to talk about The Bear.
I'm listening.
So allegedly, because I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, allegedly there had been some password sharing amongst my friends and family. And when all of the streaming services took their toys and went home, I lost access to The Bear and I hadn't finished it. So I broke down and I bought a box set of the first 4 seasons and have been going through those. So I haven't finished them. I finished the second season last night, so I'm still not fully caught up. But so far, I'm having a very good time with it.
Yay. So that's what you meant before we started recording, because people out there can't see this, but I'll post a picture somewhere. But Carla, for my birthday, bought me a Richie mug that says, "I apologize. I blame it on my elegance," which that phrase will mean something to you later, Ashley, because you haven't gotten to that episode yet. So I was holding that up and showing it. And then Ashley was saying, wait, I'll hold my thoughts there. So now I know why. But it makes me happy. Especially the physical media part of what you are saying also makes me happy. So yay for physical media, especially right now. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Do you love Richie?
Of course I do.
Okay, good. Because that's the most important question.
And that's exactly why I was worried. I saw like the facial reaction at first, and I was like, I can't read that. Is that love for Richie? Is that hate for Richie? I'm so confused right now.
I feel like everyone in their lives either has a Richie or has been a Richie or both. And I feel like I'm kind of leaving my Richie era.
You're leaving your Richie era.
Maybe I identify less with being a bit of a lovable loser.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Richie is one of those that, you know, in season 1, I was not a fan of him really. And then he grew, and he's my favorite character on the show. I love him so much. I mean, one time, I won't go into it too deeply, but on Reddit, which I need to stay away from Reddit because I get into lots of fights, but I have so much fun. Yeah, I actually got in trouble. I got a message from one of the that said, that was like, this is a warning. And it was the most ridiculous warning because I said, people talk about this, are so weird about this character. And they're like, it's really rude to call people weird. I'm like,
okay. What? Got it.
Yeah. They just don't like me. But anyway, but someone on one of these subs was saying how Richie is this horrible, awful, abusive, terrible person. And I'm like, I'm the wrong person to have read this. So yeah.
Go.
That hurts my brain.
I
don't want to think about that anymore.
I know. I don't want to go too deeply into spoilers for some of the other seasons, but
Got
it was just like, it was not okay. And they were like, and Carmi's this, and I love Carmi, but they're like, Carmi is this precious little thing that doesn't do anything wrong. I'm like, what are you
Except
talking
math. Except math. He does math extremely wrong.
So yeah, so that was fun. Anyway, well, I'm glad, always glad to hear more positive news about The Bear, because as everybody should know, it does own me. They are shooting season 5 in January. There's no definitive answer if that's going to be the last season. Jeremy Allen White was recently asked about that in an interview, and he said, we don't know if it's been we don't know if we're going to do another season. We don't know if we aren't going to do another season. So basically, whatever. He said he wants to do this show for as long as they'll let him do this show because of everybody else filming with everybody else.
5 seasons. End it.
No,
Go on
I
a high.
agree. I'm just saying this is what
Yeah. I'm like, no, Jeremy, you're wrong.
I'm sorry, I should start calling Jeremy White. It says he wants to be known by his He's sick of having to use his middle name. Yes, so cool. More love for The Bear. You can check out our episode discussing the first 3 seasons with Jenn and Sarah. And then you can also check out our Patreon exclusive, become a Patreon member, where we discuss season 4, spoil everything, with Jenn, Sarah, and Ryan and Nicole from Soundtrack Your Life. And then Carla and I recently did an episode for all you shippers out there of Carmi and Sid, which we ship Carmi and Sid. Go out there and you can listen to that episode as well. So, yeah. And that was chock full of spoilers. Okay. Okay, so Carla, top that.
Who would ever really want to go and top that?
Very good.
But if I must try, okay, a quick swipe thing into shipping territory. Recently, Erin has made me a cat and chat shipper for Days of Our Lives, a show that I have never watched except for the clips that Erin sends me. So just so you know, I'm very easily swayed into loving character pairs. Apparently, you just have to point me to them, and I'm like, yes, they need to get it on right now. In an elevator, like on a street corner, wherever they shall meet, they should just do it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Erin for injecting this beautiful nonsense into my brain.
Thank
But
you. It's been amazing.
It's also been amazing for me, I must say. This is very enjoyable to get snack-sized treats of pop culture nonsense. I love it so much. But here is the thing that I'm genuinely very upset about. And bringing it all back to white, because Jeremy White, but this is a different kind of white, and this is a not good white, unlike Jeremy. Okay. And it may not sound fandom related, but I'm going to get there. So Pantone recently declared that the color of the year for 2026 is, okay, they call it Cloud Dancer. It's white. It is white. And the reason that this is upsetting is that, so the color of the year is the absence of color. Not only is it the absence of color, it is white in a social and political landscape where white supremacy is everything. So they have declared that for the outlook, looking into the future, it's like blank slate and all of these like euphemisms for, just fresh and clean and pure, which is what society has declared whiteness to be. And I don't just mean the color, the hue, the lack of, rather, of whiteness, just the race, like declaring that people have races in the first place is ridiculous. And then grouping people and then assigning moral characteristics to them based on that. It's absolutely disgusting. And what they base it on, what Pantone bases it on, is that they say that they look at things like, the aesthetic that people are leaning towards, and they look at pop culture and they look at trends in pop culture. And I'm like, where are you seeing all this whiteness? Because it is nowhere to be found. People are looking for color. They're looking for excitement. The color that people thought that was going to be chosen was some kind of green, because Wicked, and if you look anywhere and everywhere, green is absolutely everywhere. And even if it's not green, there are so many colors that are actually colors, not the absence thereof, that you could have chosen from. The color last year was brown, which everybody was like, not very exciting, but it was a color. The color the year before that, I think, was like a pink. And then before that was a bright, beautiful red. So you are just leaning towards nothing, basically. I don't think that it is just an oopsie. I don't think that there's anything particularly accidental about this choice. I think it is very Sydney Sweeney in that, people will interpret what they want. That is a cop-out. If you're just going to be racist, just say with your full chest, we are leaning hard into whiteness as an aesthetic and moral standard. You're welcome. Just say that. Don't, kind of like dance around it. And, people are like, people are making too much out of this. It's just, a color of the year. It doesn't really mean anything. It means everything, especially when objectively there is nobody pining for white as a color palette. If you look at blogs and video essays by people who are in the business of looking at color trends, like designers, none of them are predicting white. Everybody was predicting like green or anything else. So it's glaringly obvious what this is about.
Yeah. But did you see the Today Show video of when they were announcing this? You should watch that, because it's amazing listening to Al Roker and a couple other people saying, because they're describing the cloud white, and that's white. That's white. It's just white. It's white. That's not a color. That's white. That's white. And everybody's like trying, and the person that's announcing it, like, well, no, there's a different kind of shade or hue to it.
Right.
Like, that's white.
No matter how, you can put, and that's one of the funny things too, is that to make it not be glaringly white, you have to add a color to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, whiteness is not the gold standard. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I am a part of the quilting community. It's fine. But there's, it's a lot. I'll just spare everybody the boringness. But there's a company that basically produces solid color fabrics that's kind of their whole thing. And every year they do their own sort of version of the color of the year. And usually what ends up happening is people will do their color of the year along with the Pantone of the year and kind of make dual colored quilts. And this year, their color of the year, the company's called Kona. The Kona color of the year is this really beautiful, like slightly like emerald green. And so it's so strange to me how so many other people can read the room. And this one company is just like very obviously made a point to not read the room in this particular instance.
Yeah. And Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If there's anything worse than a Republican, it is a wannabe hidden Republican. Like,
Yeah. There's a TikTok that I just shared today. We're recording this on Sunday, December 7th, that I just shared in our Discord server. So come join our Discord server in the actors section, talking about how she finally, quote unquote, was quote unquote brave to come out against everything that's been associated with her, which she really didn't. And the TikTok kind of goes into that. So it's PR, of course. So Jenn.
Yes. I just to add to the color of the year, calling it Cloud Dancer feels like they're trying to give it like a Native American kind of feel to it. It takes away from like the whiteness of it. That was my initial take, was really, that's just, you just can't call it white. You have to get, anyway, but ditto everything Carla said. So that's all I'll say about that. So what I was going to talk about season 4 of The Witcher, but I decided that I'm going to talk about this audiobook that I recently finished. It's called Sorry I'm Late, I Didn't Want to Come by Jessica Pan. And it's basically an introvert's journey to becoming an extrovert. And at first I thought it was going to be a little bit more like Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes, where she, in her kind of introverted way, decided to say yes to all these things that she would normally say no to. And I really liked that book, and I kind of took some lessons from her book for a while and try and hope that it becomes like a good habit. And so with this one, I was like, okay, a little bit more of that. But what Jessica does here is she kind of realizes, like, you know, that she's depressed and she wants to go out and try and like not be depressed and try to become an extrovert. She had moved and she was lonely, and so she didn't have any friends, and that's kind of where this all stemmed from. And the steps that she takes, I thought were incredible. Like, she takes like a class on basically having like effective conversations and how we all do more or less small talk, but people are kind of pretty hungry for like a deeper conversation and really getting into like a deep talk. And that's more or less asking, well, how did that make you feel? And some of the things that she learned through this year of hers. So she took this class, she did improv, she did all these things. She said yes to things that she would normally say no to. And I just thought it was really, really incredible. One of the things, again, about kind of the deep talk versus like the small talk is one thing that she had mentioned was in one of these classes, the guy was like, people are pretty much hungry for human interaction and conversations, but they're not necessarily going to initiate it. One thing he said was, no one will wave, but everyone will wave back. And I'm like, that's actually true, because I have waved at people not waving at me, and then I felt like an idiot. And in some of these other kind of more awkward social situations, they kind of talk about like, well, what's the worst thing that could happen in that situation? Oh, you're embarrassed. And then what? That's it. The embarrassment goes. The person's going to go on with their day. They're probably not even going to think twice about you. So kind of reinforcing all these things about more or less getting out of our own head. And so her goal was to become an extrovert, and after a year, invite all these people that she met for a dinner party. And it was just really, really good. I found it very like inspirational, and how to have like better effective conversations. Like during her dinner party, she's like, people always plan for like the food, but no one really plans for the conversations. And going beyond the small talk, what do you do? What's your family life like? More or less like, oh, your mom died, my mom died. How did that make you feel? And having these kind of smaller connecting moments, just like on the train, on the tube, because she's in London. And how these moments can have a positive impact on these strangers and how they can be like, wow, I wasn't kind of ready to talk about that, but it feels good to kind of get it off my chest. So I really like it. I highly recommend it for anyone that might be struggling with introvert, extrovert. And even if you're not looking to become a full-blown extrovert, if you just want to get some tips on how to just be a better friend to your circle, I think it can be very beneficial in that way too. So I got it through the library, through the Libby app, audiobook. It's read by the author. And I highly recommend it. It was so good. It's kind of one of those where I'm like, maybe I'll buy like the actual book so then I can go through and highlight my favorite parts and bookmark all the sections that I really, really liked. So it's called, once again, Sorry I'm Late, I Didn't Want to Come by Jessica Pan.
Cool. No, that sounds really good. Really interesting. Yeah. Thanks, Jenn. I'll have to check that out because I finally have done an audiobook. So I'll have to. I did that when we did our Odd Thomas episode when I was reading it. I re-listened to it, I should say. So cool. I'll have to check that out. And yes, definitely the Libby app, everybody. Better than those other apps. So
it's free.
Well, there were so many things I could choose from because during the holiday break, I watched like 8 movies, which was unbelievable, like 8 new to me movies. And most of them, except for like one, were from this year. So there were a few that are actually going to end up in my top 10. It not The Running Man, even though that movie is so stupid, but I had so much fun watching it. It's insanely stupid though, but I had enjoyed it. But instead, and this actually probably, if I had thought about it or if it happened at the time when I made the outline, would have been our main topic. But I just want to say, watching the Paul Dano and Quentin Tarantino stuff has been the highlight of my week because what's been so great about it is, as I keep saying, everybody say, this is the first time you've seen an actor be uncanceled. And that's Paul Dano, of course, because Quentin Tarantino, who is an egotistical asshole, came out with his top films of the decade or whatever, or century, whatever it was, decade or something. And he had put There Will Be Blood on there, but he said it would have been his number one if it wasn't for Paul Dano, who's like, he said he was a horrible actor. He's horrible, terrible, which is so ridiculous and not true. And a lot of people are saying it's some kind of self-projection where he's jealous. I think, and other people have mentioned this, that he probably turned Quentin Tarantino down for some role. And so Quentin Tarantino's holding a grudge. That's the way it also comes off for me. There's been great TikToks about this, but what's been so amazing is watching not only like fans come out and say what a great actor he is, including people that are Quentin Tarantino fans. I want to say that even Quentin Tarantino's fans, who are honestly some of the worst fans I've ever dealt with in fandom spaces. I'm sorry to all of you who may be listening, but it's true. I have never received so much hatred as when I said, yeah, the way Bruce Lee was portrayed in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was awful. And the family has a right to be angry about this. And the fans, just the vitriol from them. But even his fans are like, yeah, this is wrong. He shouldn't have said that. Mm-hmm. But also watching actors come out and filmmakers come out and be like, no, he's great. He's wonderful. You know, all this stuff, like, you know, sly little things like Maya Rudolph putting in her stories just like a scene from There Will Be Blood, or like just like a little like screen grab from there. And it's just been so much fun watching that because I've got to think, he hasn't said anything. He doesn't have any social media presence, Paul Dano, but I've got to think that must be such a weird feeling to be like, all of a sudden be like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. But it's great that it's actually like a positive thing where he's getting like all this positivity from it. And Quentin Tarantino is rightfully getting the negativity from this. And Quentin Tarantino, you know, is not a good person and supports a lot of horrible people like Roman Polanski. And, you know, he's made some great movies. We covered Pulp Fiction, which I still think is a great movie, but his ego is so huge that that's where a lot of this comes from. And he's got such a fragile male ego too. And he, of course, also insulted Owen Wilson and Matthew Lillard. And Matthew Lillard was at a recent convention or a recent yeah, I think it was, yeah, I can't remember which.
GalaxyCon, I
Thank
think.
you. Yeah. And he was talking about this and said how it was hurtful. It does hurt. But he said there's such a difference between the Hollywood world and the fan world. Because he's like, you all love me, but Hollywood is not a place that like knows me or loves me because I'm not Tom Cruise or a big star. And so it was interesting his point about that too, of like Quentin Tarantino wouldn't have said this about some huge star, but more like the more obscure, the character actors, the stuff like that. So it's just been enjoyable though to watch it. And I wonder if Paul is ever going to come out and say anything about this. He probably won't, because I don't think he's that kind of person from all, looks on it. And other people are also saying part of this could be Paul Dano has come out, he's very pro-Palestine. He said free, and Quentin Tarantino is very much the opposite. And so I think that could play a part in this too. So down with Quentin Tarantino and up with Paul Dano. I just loved it. It was just such a different kind of way of like, not hearing about how awful a celebrity is, and instead it being people like embracing someone's art and showing clips of like, not just There Will Be Blood, but all of his other amazing performances. And that's just been fun to watch. So, yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing is super fucking. When I first saw it, I was just like, what? Like, it comes across as like a jilted ex.
Yeah.
Or as Moss said, like when a woman turns a man down and then he gets violent and like, all. And it's like, it's one thing to just maybe be like, have like actual criticism, but these are personal attacks. This is like some childish shit. And then for Owen Wilson and Matthew Lillard to just catch strays from it, like what the fuck is wrong with that man? Jesus.
I know.
So it's been odd, but highly entertaining. And yeah, love seeing the love for Paul Dano. So
yeah. Tarantino's kind of a dick. He also went after the Hunger Games because he was like, well, this is stealing from this movie. And everybody's like, dude, you make all these movies with an excuse to say the N-word whenever you can.
Facts.
You make all these, did this horrible depiction of Bruce Lee. You do all this horrible stuff, and yet you're going to insult the Hunger Games when you steal from so many pieces of art all the time.
The man has never had an original thought.
Yeah. Everything that he makes is derivative. But like one TikToker said, I think Quentin Tarantino, his dream was to be a leading man. And when he realized that wasn't going to happen, then he's been so bitter about that forever. So, because he's a horrible actor. He's such a bad actor. Speaking of a bad actor, look in the mirror because you're a bad actor. You just are. Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to watch the trailer for the new Gus Van Sant movie, Dead Man's Wire. Actually, I love that you're clapping. So we'll be right back. Okay, so it's that time to hit pause for people listening, and then we'll be back to talk about the new Gus Van Sant movie, Dead Man's Wire, or I mean the trailer, not the movie. We haven't seen the movie. We're going to give our reviews of a movie we haven't seen. So hit pause now, and then when you unpause us, we'll be back with our thoughts. Okay, so we just watched the trailer for Dead Man's Wire. So I want to know, Ashley, was this your first time watching the trailer? Did you wait till now to watch it?
This was, yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
This movie is entirely my shit. So, like, I will be there, like, opening day.
That's the way you put that.
I love a good, like, period piece kind of journalism movie. Those kind of movies have always been something that I find really interesting. I lived in Indianapolis at one point, so like it's kind of fun. Even just in the few shots in the trailer, I'm like, I know where that is. That's fun. And while I don't know a lot about this true story that it's based on, it seems interesting. We love an anti-capitalism in 2025. So yeah, I think this looks super sick.
Awesome. Well, I loved your whole reaction to that of just this is my shit. I understand how you feel because there are a lot of movies that are like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, this is like catnip for me. Yeah. Yeah. So, Carla, was this your first time watching it?
It was. It was. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It looks interesting. It looks like, there are moments of comedy, which I always enjoy, especially in movies where people are being held up at massive gunpoint. Like, let's make you giggle a little bit, just, while you're kind of watching a person maybe about to get blown away.
Levity. It's important.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know, like, I'll watch it, but that's not a high bar. So, I don't know. It has people in it that I think are interesting. It has people in it that I don't even recognize. I enjoyed the setting. I really think it's so interesting how so many movies are now being set in a time before cell phones, because having a cell phone eliminates a lot of necessary tension and a lot of necessary ambiguity and being able to just be lost somewhere. So that's fun too. So yeah, again, I'm going to watch it. I just don't know how excited I will be by the time it comes around.
So we went from really high to lukewarm.
I'll be seated because I'll probably be there anyway. I pretty much live at the movies, so.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. So, Jenn, where are you on it? And was it your first time? Sorry.
This was my first time watching it. I thought about watching it the other day, but I was like, no, I'll save it. I think it looks really interesting. Originally, I was like, man, I hope this has a satisfying ending. I was like, oh, it's based on a true story, so I probably can just look that up. But it still looks really interesting. I like kind of all about like that 70s aesthetic. Like I've rewatched Late Night with the Devil like 4 times this week. So, because I love that aesthetic. Like I said, I just love that vibe. But this is definitely one where I could see like my husband and I both being like interested in watching it. I can see him maybe liking it a bit more than I might, but that's, yet to be seen. So yeah, I will watch it and kind of go from there, I guess.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I decided that this was the trailer we were going to talk about, there were 2 that I was debating about. And the other one, I was like, well, this is like more leaning horror area. And so I wasn't sure. But then I kind of decided on this one because of the fact that, well, number one, Bill Skarsgård, who is such an incredible actor. That whole family is. It's one of the few Nepo families that I'm like all on board for. And he usually plays like such weird people because his face is weird. And I mean that as a compliment. It's just like this very like odd face. It's like, and the scene in this trailer where he sticks his tongue out and his tongue goes really fast. And then the little dance, I'm like, that's such Bill Skarsgård coded. I don't know. It's like, and he's usually in a lot of horror movies. He's really good in them. But this seems like a little bit of a different character for him. And so I'm excited about that. And it looks like like Gus Van Sant recognized that this is a great actor who is a great character actor, really. And it'd be great to put him in something that isn't like making him necessarily weird, like, but it kind of using that weirdness and oddness that he inherently has for a character that's like supposed to be like the everyman kind of thing. And I am much more on Ashley's side with this because this is my kind of movie. My hesitance with this movie is it's being released in January. January is a notorious dumping ground for studios for movies that actually aren't good. And this is a movie that is tailor-made for like Oscar season from the trailer. So it's interesting to me that they're dropping it in January and there's no like Christmas release to make it like, if it was being released in December limited and then January wide, that'd be very different than dropping it all in January. So that's my one hesitance is like, oh, I wonder if it's really not as good. I've read some reviews, some positive, some mixed, some negative. But it's still, at its heart, is my kind of movie. I love movies like this that are kind of like character driven, even if there is action in it. This seems very character driven to me. I adore Coleman Domingo with every single bit of my being. And the fact that he's never been cast as a DJ before makes no sense to me because his voice is so perfect for it. When he was doing that to me, and I'm like, why has no one ever thought of this before? And he was so much fun in The Running Man as well. But he's just so great to watch. I love watching him. I adore him. And so that also attracts me to it. The biggest detractor in this trailer is Al Pacino for me, because Al Pacino to me is one of the most overrated actors in the world. And his little scene in this was so poorly. I'm like, maybe it's not as bad when you see it in the screen, but that was like, I'm like, whoa, that took me out of the trailer. Every time I've watched it, I'm like, oh, okay. But I still really want to see it because I also love things that are set in the 70s. I think that right now, with what we are going through as a country, economically and everything like that, is very reminiscent actually of the 70s and 80s as well, but the 70s. And so I think any movie that's in that time period, especially right now, resonates. And when it's a movie, like you said, Ashley, about taking on capitalism, especially right now, I think it can be very relevant to what we're going through right now. I expect whenever I see movies like this, where it's someone standing up to capitalism, that person isn't going to win in the end, sadly, because that's sadly the way this country works. But, I still want to see it. I still want to watch it. I still want to have that moment of rage at this, at capitalism and everything. And like I said, I love Bill Skarsgård, and I really am curious to see him in this role that's a little bit different. And Gus Van Sant is an incredibly talented filmmaker. He has made some of the best films, in my opinion, of ever. I think My Own Private Idaho is still one of the most remarkable films made, and still has one of the most beautiful performances from River Phoenix that has ever been seen on film. So I'm excited to see him do this. This seems a little bit different than some of the stuff he's done. So that also gets me excited. And I haven't been excited about a Gus Van Sant movie in a long, decade or so. I think the last one was To Die For that I was really excited about. So I'm looking forward to this. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe you'll hear more about it. Maybe I'll be like, oh, see, there was a reason it was dumped in January, or maybe not. But yeah, well, thank you all for watching that trailer. And when we come back, we are going to just have some fun. So we'll be right back to talk about some of our holiday entertainment traditions, if we have any. Okay. So, Ashley, what I want to know from all of you, but first from you, Ashley, is since the holiday season is upon us. Sorry, it just really doesn't feel like the holiday season to me at all. I cannot get in the mood for it. So I'm sorry. Maybe I did this because I'm trying to get in the mood.
We're manifesting. We're manifesting.
Yes. Yes.
Make me love Christmas, damn it.
I know. I'm like, can I do this? And I hate New Year's Eve with a burning passion. That's like my least favorite holiday ever. So I'm doing this to get me out of my Grinch-iness. So Ashley, do you have any holiday entertainment traditions, like a must-watch movie or TV episode?
I come from a family of deeply unserious people. So I was thinking about this, and the only thing that I can think of is Christmas Vacation, the Chevy Chase movie. I know, I tend to watch Nightmare Before Christmas around this time of year, but I'm also inclined to watch Nightmare Before Christmas in August. I'm spooky all year round. It's fine. But yeah, I guess for me, Christmas Vacation was kind of the only thing that I could really think of that we did a lot during my childhood. And that's kind of a thing that has continued on into my adulthood.
I'm going to admit something here. I've never watched Nightmare Before Christmas.
It looks cool.
Mm-hmm. That didn't get the same reaction as when I've admitted other things that I haven't watched. It wasn't as much shock with that one. I don't know why.
I was trying to remember if I've watched it. And then I remembered, yes, I watched it back when it came out. And that's the only time I've watched it.
Okay.
I only watched it for the first time a couple of years ago with the kids for, I think, Halloween and Christmas. So I was late to that party, but it's pretty cute. I don't know. I like it.
people love it. So yeah. I mean, it's not as shocking to people when I say, like, I have never seen Home Alone, which I'm rectifying that this year because we're covering it next week. So.
What?
No.
So don't worry, she'll get around to Nightmare Before Christmas in like another 6 years.
Yes, we'll cover it. We'll cover it.
That'll be the podcast's 12-year anniversary movie.
Ashley, I'll try and remember to have you on. See, I couldn't remember if you liked horror, though.
I skew a bit more like splatstick than straight horror, but yes.
Stick.
I love that.
That is amazing. I've never heard that. I can't believe I've never heard that before. A splat stick. That's incredible. So are you excited then about the sequel to Ready or Not?
Yes.
Yeah, that trailer made me excited about it. I was not excited about it because I love Ready or Not, but I was like, that's a near perfect movie. We don't need a sequel. But the sequel looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Okay, so Jen, do you have any holiday traditions?
Yeah, letting Carla go first.
Oh my God, Carla. You know why? It's because I have everybody set up this way. That's why I almost switched it all out. I was thinking that earlier. I'm like, I switched it out because I'm going to mess up. And I did. But I was like, I have to mess. I'm sorry, Carla.
When did she change her name to Ben from Jen and become like the B slot in this trio?
So, Carla,
okay.
I apologize. Do you have any pop culture entertainment traditions?
Well, yes, we do, Erin. Thank you so much for asking. In my family, we're very traditional about Christmas, where we do like all of the classic holiday things, including watching the very, very, again, traditional classic movies While You Were Sleeping and Love Actually. As you know, everybody who grew up around the time that we did was assigned a VHS copy of each movie as they came out. And I know you probably burned yours because Bill Pullman doesn't do it for you.
No,
That's
I
okay.
don't like Love Actually. I don't like that. That's
Oh, no. I was talking about While You Were Sleeping.
Oh, I know, but I thought you were, but I didn't.
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. He wasn't even in it. So I know you don't like it, but it's not because of him. It's fine.
No, I love While You Were Sleeping.
No. Love Actually.
Okay. Oh my God. You said Bill Pullman.
Yes. Because despite all of the very, very thoughtful and accurate points that have come out about Love Actually since it originally was released, we're still saps for it. We'll still watch it. But we are definitely more While You Were Sleeping. Like, we will watch that until the wheels come off, which it can't because it's a movie.
The spooling wheels.
Yeah, there you go. Like, it's a movie that you know, it's not Christmas centric, but it's Christmas ish, and we just always watch it on Christmas Eve. And that's like one of our favorite things to do. Like, we all sit around together. My son last year was the first time that he watched it, and it was like great because he ended up loving it. So yeah, like, we don't do Rudolph in this house. We don't do Charlie Brown. We're a Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman house here, and proud of it.
Hell yeah.
We want to see the grandma talk about how the mashed potatoes are so creamy, and we want to see the stars fall on ice as God intended.
Yeah, the reason I was saying that is that I know, Carla, when we talked about While You Were Sleeping on this podcast a few years ago, we did an episode about While You Were Sleeping. And I know that I announced to my panel, and they all, because this was a live stream, they all left, turned their cameras off when I said I don't think Bill Pullman is attractive. But I love the movie and I want the two of them together, but I don't think he's attractive. That doesn't, but you know, so that's what I thought you were reacting
I can't believe you said it again. Like,
yeah,
does our
said it
friendship mean nothing
again.
to you? I mean, like, honestly.
I will say, even though I'm not like a big fan of the movie, there are these really cute TikToks going around right now, speaking of Love Actually, where people are doing the dance that Hugh Grant did in the movie. And they're very cute, actually. I don't know if anybody's seen them, but
I have not. Now I have to go look for them. Thank you for putting that on my radar. My FYP has betrayed me, but it's okay. You're here to rectify that.
So, Jenn.
So first, okay, so Carla and Ashley both mentioned like family traditions, and that's really sweet. I didn't do that. I wrote my traditions.
That's what I did too, Jenn.
Screw the family. So for me, it's holiday horror, and it always starts with the original Black Christmas and kind of can go anywhere from there. I think I did an episode last year, like a mini-sode about some of my favorite holiday horror, like must-watches. And then like Scrooged is kind of like a family tradition. That's something I grew up watching, and it tickles me every fucking year. Carol Kane as the Ghost of Christmas Present is the best. But I guess aside from holiday horror, I always do my Doctor Who rewatch, starting with the Christmas episodes. And I guess if I have to include my family, there's usually The Grinch 2018, which I really, really like. I like that one more than the original, because the Grinch is nice to his dog Max in this remake. He's such a good dog owner. He takes care of Max. He's not OG Grinch is a fucking dick to his dog. Like, he does not deserve a dog. Like, he can steal Christmas. I don't give a shit. But someone take that dog away from that green monster. But 2018, he's so good to Max. And Max is such a good boy. And I love it so much. And then we'll probably watch like Abbott Elementary Christmas episodes, kind of random, sprinkled through the rest of the month. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, don't worry. I did the same thing, Jenn. That's why we're podcast brain twins. I just kind of did it individual because there are like, and some of them are like cheesy movies, like this ABC family movie called 12 Dates for Christmas with Mark Paul Gosselaar. I watch that movie every year. And it's like one of those Groundhog Day kind of deals. But I also, of course, love the holiday horror. And last year we did an episode, that was our Christmas episode last year, we talked about holiday horror films. So you can go back and listen to that. And I'm with you on Black Christmas. But there's also like two that have become like new ones for me are Better Watch Out, which is fantastic, which a lot of people are like, wait, you've never seen Home Alone and you like Better Watch Out? You're missing so much by not watching Home Alone first before that. But if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil things for that movie, but it's such a cleverly done film where it's like you think it's one thing and then it turns into something else. And it's so well done and it's so funny. And one thing that is kind of like an aside about that is that I don't know if because I know Jenn has watched this. I don't know if anybody else has watched this movie, but there's this thing about the door handles where the door handles are like really high up on the doors. And the filmmaker once was asked about this in a Reddit ask thing. And he's like, that was not planned. When we went to go film it, the house we got, all of their handles were like that. And we couldn't afford to do anything about it. So that's why all the door handles are so high. It's the weirdest thing. Like, you go, why is the door handle like way up where you would normally not have a door handle? But that was a great one. And the other one is there's this horror comedy that came out in the 90s called Jack Frost. And it is so flippin' funny. I'm noticing a couple of people and oh my gosh, I watched it for the first time last year. And some of the lines are so ridiculous. This movie knows it's stupid and knows it's ridiculous and knows that it is not like an intelligent horror film by any stretch of the imagination. And there are all these scenes in there that just like, oh my gosh, there's this part where the local sheriff, he gets his son makes him a bag of oats that looks so gross, puts him in a Ziploc bag, gives him to him. He goes to work and he's about to throw them out. And then he hears the voice of his son saying, I made these for you, Dad. And so he keeps them. He throws them into the back seat. And then later on, they helped us kill the Jack Frost character, which Jack Frost was a serial killer that got rolled up into a snow. He's so beautiful. And he has a carrot. And there's this other scene where they find a dead body. Sorry, I'm spoiling some of these scenes, but they're better when you see them. And they find a dead body, and the body's frozen, the head's back, and it's rocking in this rocking chair. And at the end of the scene, the sheriff's like, take your foot off the rocking chair. It's this person rocking back and forth. It's not even the dead body. So it's like little things like that where it's just so funny. Like, the sheriff comes in and he's talking to the receptionist or whatever, and it's like, you look like someone died, and she holds up a note that's to him and her that says somebody died.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Movie. It's so funny. So I recommend that one if you haven't watched it. If you're looking for some holiday horror and holiday horror comedies, I really, really recommend that one. And Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas, is fantastic. Saw that for the first time on a big screen. I'd seen it before, but on the big screen last year, Moth and I got to go see it. It was a 9:30 showing, so as an old person, someone feels old. I was like, whoa. Although I'm up late every night anyway, but it was kind of like, it's a short movie though, so it wasn't as bad. But still, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to be out of here almost at midnight.
It starts at what time now?
I know. But that was fun. So yeah, I recommend. I love doing holiday horror. And then I sprinkle in 12 Days for Christmas and other cheesy ones like Elf and, yeah. And National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yes, lots of stuff in that movie, including the fact that Chevy Chase is an asshole. Don't hold up well, but I still love it. We did a special Patreon bonus episode talking about that one as well last year, so you can go listen to that. We also did a Patreon bonus talking about Elf. So, yeah. Okay, and we are next week going to be talking about Home Alone, so I will finally be popping that cherry. Oh, God, that sounds horrible when I'm talking about it. I'm sorry.
Nailed it.
Yes, the classic children's movie.
Okay, so that concludes this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. So thank you, Ashley, Carla, and Jenn, for joining me. We're going to close out, and you can all say you can tell everybody where they can find your podcasts. So Ashley, a co-host of Talking Like a Teen, tell everybody about that podcast, where it can be found.
Talking Like a Teen is a comedy pop culture podcast that I do with my friend Adrian King, who's been on a couple episodes of the show as well. You can find us. I hate this. He always does this. You can find us on Instagram and Blue Sky at TLAT Podcast. We have a YouTube channel. We're kind of transitioning a lot of our stuff out of Spotify to other places, most of which being YouTube. And then you can reach us via email at tlatpodcast@gmail.com. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'll put you through it next episode too. And my see, I almost did it again.
Can you guys see me? Is my camera still working? I didn't even shut it off when you repeated that blaspheme about Bill Pullman not being attractive.
I'm so sorry. So Carla, this is what happened.
See, I'm so flustered I didn't even say the word blasphemy correctly, but
So Carla from Okay Real Quick, who I was definitely going to next. Oh my gosh, where can everybody find your podcast? Okay, Real Quick. Tell everybody about it.
Thank you, Erin. I will very quickly tell you where you can find Okay Real Quick. Guess what? Wherever you found this podcast, you can find Okay Real Quick. Oh my gosh, wasn't that easy? Okay, now. I was on hiatus because for some reason Novembers are excruciating on the schedule, but I am coming back with my promised episode about Smosh's 20-year anniversary, and I will also be doing some end-of-year fun stuff. And yes, you can find that again, etc. And if you want social media about Okay Real Quick, you can quickly find it by looking at Okay Real Quick Pod wherever you social your media, except for Instagram, because I hate Meta now. Because I'm a cool kid. And guess what? You can also find me and my art and my musings. Guess where? I don't know because I don't have Instagram anymore. Oh, yes. Blue Sky and TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, I like TikTok a lot. If you want to follow me there so I can spam you with videos, you can do that. I also have a website, carlatemis.com. That's CarlaTemis.com. Check it out. Like Fergie would say. Not the dog.
I was going to say, Fergie would say that, huh?
Just making that clear. I don't want people getting confused. Coming to your house being like, can I talk to Fergie? Fergie said. Carla said about Fergie.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you so much.
Happy to help.
And last, and next episode, depending on how you all come in here, I'm switching the stuff so it doesn't happen again. So last, my podcast brain twin, Jenn, we co-host a podcast called Twin It to Win It, but you have a podcast called My Streaming Bubble. So yeah, promote that.
Promote that. My streaming bubble can be found on a podcast player near you, like the one like you're like right there listening to right now. And then you can also find me on all the socials because even though I hate Meta, I'm just a slut for social media. So you can just search My Streaming Bubble and I'll pop up pretty much everywhere. Blue Sky, Threads, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. And do all those same things for our, as Erin said, our monthly podcast that we co-host, Twin It to Win It, where we try and guess how the other one feels about different horror movies. So, yeah, that's Twin It to Win It podcast. We're not actually twins, just so everyone's clear on that.
This panel is very big on clarity.
Yes.
Yes, and we are, for this month, it is Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. So that's what we are going to be trying to twin it on. We twinned it on our last one when we talked about Mirror, Mirror.
Yep. And not only did we twin it on our guesses for the movie, but also our synopses that we give. So
yes. Oh my gosh, that was the most amazing moment.
that was... I mean, that's historical. That's iconic. I'm going to say it right now. It was iconic.
Yes, and we've actually kind of like mentioned and alluded to the movie we kind of mentioned in during this episode. Yeah. Yeah, so go listen to it and you'll know what we're talking about. Well, Fergie the dog, not the Fergie that Carla was referring to, but Fergie the dog who loves horror movies. She can be found on TikTok at Schroeder and Fergs. That's SCHROEDERANDFERGS. It's long, but it's worth it. I am going to make her watch Good Boy again because she left during the middle of when I first tried. Because she's so pissed at how obsessed I am with Indy the dog. So I'm going to try it again because I want to do a video because I see all these videos on TikTok of dogs watching it. And I'm like, Fergie, why do you love watching TV? Why aren't you getting us into this? Because there's literally where she was sitting there, she's watching it and then she's looking back at me like, really, we're watching this? Yeah, I'm going to try again. But she's a fun dog and you can follow her there. To find links to all our past episodes, links to our social media, including our Discord server, head on over to our website. It's afandomthingpod.com. And while you're there, consider becoming a Patreon supporter today. For as little as $3 a month, you get ad-free content, you get episodes a day early, and occasionally you win prizes, and you also get bonus episodes too. We're going to be doing a random Christmas movie. I actually am toying with the idea of doing an episode covering 12 days of Christmas. What I really wanted my Patreon supporters to make win, and only one person voted for it, was talking about the worst of 2025 and detailing things that we hated in pop culture. And that did not win. People don't want me to, I guess, be hateful. Whatever. Anyway, so go to our website. It's afandomthingpod.com. Click the support us tab there or check the show notes. And on Friday's episode, Ashley, Carla, and Jenn will be returning whether they want to or not to talk about VH1 of love shows. So until next time, remember, it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, and free Palestine.